Greetings, everybody. I'd like to touch on one of many of my favorite subjects right now. This is a test on the video network and how it works, and see if everything's good and fine of the new system. Let me adjust this a bit. There, that's better. How's that feel? Anyway, someone asked me about the situation of the poor. I've noticed a tendency of unions and other areas to campaign for a higher wage by which one can be able to sustain oneself and promote a lifestyle that is more conduciveness. But I'd like to point out the fallacy in simply raising the wage or the minimum wage. There's pluses because realistically it looks like there's more money in our pocket to us who are poor. That being said, it doesn't really work, because if you think about it long enough, hard enough, you find out that all it does is puts the poor in a higher tax bracket. As an example, I'm getting $10 an hour right now. I'm required to pay so much in income tax. And there's your provincial sales tax, your federal sales tax, your GST tax, this tax, tax, environmental taxes. All these taxes which really garnish a good chunk of the money that's coming in. Therein's the problem. Politicians simply, if they want money, vote themselves a healthy rate. We got multimillionaires like Justin Trudeau who are running the country. Realistically, why do they need all that money? Oh well, it's to serve their budget. If they spent it on the budget, it would be one thing, but no, it's winding up majorly in their pockets as their, quote, paycheck. Now, I don't think politicians should do it for nothing, no more than judges or lawyers or anybody else in a profession. I don't necessarily think what I do should be paid for nothing, but I do it for nothing, simply because of principle. And there's a few stingy people who just won't want to support this ministry for various reasons, and this is one of them, because I speak my mind and they're scared of that. Why are they scared of that? Why don't they want to invite me anymore? Why don't they want me coming around? Because they're afraid of what I'm going to say. Realistically, politically, I think really we need to have some changes. And change is going to come, and I don't necessarily think that it's for the better. You know, liberalism that's coming forward, we could do whatever we want society, and put ourselves back to judges where every man did what was right in his own eyes. And it seems that the world's clamoring to go back to that time when there is no real justice. Simply, if it was all right for me, I was going to do it. No penalties, no barriers, no judgments. Live the life I want, do what I want, say what I want, be where I want, with no penalties, unless what you want happens to conflict directly with what I want. And what you want is a standard of morality, and I don't want it. And that's where the world is going. But that's another subject. Back to the wage scenario. To me, it'd be more conducive to put a flat line on where taxes, particularly income taxes, are made. We have societies out there that are supposed to be helping the poor. Things like here in Saskatchewan, there's the Regina Housing Corporation and several others, which rent out lower income facilities, which are of very nice standard to the best of them. But at the same time, it's required that only one member of the house can work, and that only a certain element of profit can be made. Where your full disclosure of your income and all sources, including interest rates on your bank account, need to be disclosed, and that all affects your rent. So where's the break? I might be making an income of $200, which case I get an apartment for $50, which is nice. But once I find out that I've got an investment and some of that profit's going to investment to help me support my food and other things that I may require. And suddenly that rent goes from $50 to over $200. Where's my income? Zero. A friend of mine went through that scenario where they had a couple weeks of good, solid work and extra hours, and she kept going yes, 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 yes. Regina Housing then jacked the rates and is only reviewed once a year, $2,000 a month. So for the next 1 year, because of 2 weeks' work, she'd be required to pay that $1,000 regardless of the fact that after 2 weeks her salary went back down. And it was immediate and backloaded to the first of the month. Really? Where's the justice in this? How does a poor man get ahead? I remember a time when I was struggling, and because of my children and situation, I went to the Department of Social Services here in Saskatchewan. I sat there in front of my worker, who was then called Mark Brochure. Yes, I named him. Because he's still around and needs to be removed from office. You want to know why I'm against social services? This is the opinion. This is the exact example of why. And it's not just me. There's several other individuals with the same story. By then I had just left the government. All sources of income had dried up. But I had 3 letters in my pocket, which I produced, that showed that realistically all I need is one of three little courses. Typing, computers, a beginning computer course, and or a legal representative course, like for a secretary or whatever. I had placed 7 years more in the government as a file clerk. I could do the job. All he had to do was pay for one. The typing course would have been the easiest. It was a 3-week course, $100 out of social services thing, out of which they were willing to pay for the other 3 courses, which would have been considerably more, but felt it was worth the investment. Mr. Brochure denied me that $100 to take that typing course. This has affected the rest of the outcome of my life. I told him, pay for the typing course. It's the cheapest. It's going to be a relevant amount of time, but at least I have some keyboard skill by which I can use even on the computers. No. Wasn't going to be done. So, what was the end of it? He told me the only way that I was going to get off the system, when I asked him point blank, was to kill myself. Things are slanted to a bad way, but where the poor man cannot live. And it's meant to completely oppress and enslave the people. Job creation, job skills, anything that might advance them higher into the ranks, we cannot allow this. A certain elite, even though there's demand, and there's a lot of people with talent, it's easy to judge the poor man who's at the bottom of the scale. But until you live the life of the poor man, you really don't understand them. Realistically, by lowering the tax rate, it's going to, or putting a ceiling on the tax rate, and say just for a number, below $3,000 a month, you do not pay taxes. Or, even if you pay income tax, a portion of that's going to be guaranteed to refund. This, of course, creates more income in my pocket. Now, there are those out there arguing that I would only spend it on drugs, or alcohol, or beer. Well, it's the same thing as alcohol. Or stupid stuff. It's my money. Are you talking that Pierre Trudeau would, spend it on drugs? What about Pierre Trudeau? Is he going to spend it on alcohol? How about jet-facing old back and forth across the world on your and my tax dollars? You can't apply one rule to one side without having applied to the other. He squanders our money left, right, and center in less than 1/4 of his first term in office. He's taken our government finances and dropped them to almost $1 trillion in the red, promising that he would only drop it maybe by $1 billion or so. He's approaching the trillion mark. Throwing money around that's not his. Why does he care? It's not his money. It's our money. Your money. Money that could be better invested. Money that could be turned around in the economy. Money that could be applied to the poor man who's going to spend his money. Is there taxes on beer? So if I buy beer, you're going to get some of that money back. If I buy wine, you're going to get some of that money back. If you're legalized and taxed is not on a pot or some of the other drugs, you're going to get some of that money back. Now that does not mean that I support in any way, shape, or form any type of medicinal purposes, but reality is, in a free society, it is my choice. Just a thought. If we really want to change things, instead of just always demanding for more, which only escalates the problem, why don't we hold the line at less and change the way things are done and how the outcome is, so the poor man really does get a break? Just a thought. And I'm rambling. And this is your friend, Daniel Bomey. Shalom.